What's going on, everybody? This is Jake Waxman.
And Tyler Laviolette.
Coming to you live from the studio here in Waterford. Normally, we talk about sports, but today, we're doing something a little different today. So, me and Tyler, we wanted to focus on interviewing people who are on the autism spectrum disorder. Tyler, tell us more about what you want to do.
Yes, thank you. We are interviewing Andrew, I think, in Autastic Atheltcis, I think it is. And it's a business that helps with people on the autism spectrum and do things like weight loss challenges, fitness, exercise, and other events like especially bowling. And last Friday we went to see him at Waterford Lanes doing some bowling with various students and guests there.
Absolutely, and to give you guys a little more information about it, in addition to being the owner of Austastic Atheltcis, Andrew is married and he has 5 children, 5 adopted children, 3 of which are on the autism spectrum, and he is doing everything, he's getting his name out there, he's doing everything he can to help those on the autism spectrum. And today, this interview, this is the first of what we hope is going to be many to help get people out there, people on the spectrum out there. That's one of our goals here, aside from talking sports, is to help those on the spectrum to get noticed out there. So, without further ado, please welcome Andrew Ackner, the owner of Austastic Atheltcis.
Thanks for having me.
How you doing, man?
Doing great.
All right, so I want to start by asking you this first question. So this business of yours, Austastic Atheltcis, so what's the main objective behind it? What does it do to help people on the spectrum?
So the goal of Austastic Atheltcis is to be the sports and fitness training program for autistic athletes by autistic athletes. I'm on the spectrum myself, and I coach the sports that I compete myself in actively to share my passion and knowledge of competing in both tennis and bowling, and also fitness as it's related to those sports. I coach and share my passion with my students in how to really get yourself out there and compete in those sports and learn how to play the game for the love of the game.
Amazing stuff.
Very important. Mm-hmm.
All right. Tyler, you have a question for Andrew to start?
Yes. So where exactly would you do various things? Like last Friday we were at Waterford Lanes for your bowling. However, what do you do? What do you do if you're doing like tennis, for example?
Tennis is seasonal, so it's outdoors seasonally during the warmer months. So right now we're in our off season for tennis. I do tennis in Troy, Clarkston, and Sterling Heights.
And like I said, I know we did the bowling, and I mentioned that was at Waterford Lanes.
Yep.
Now, where else would you do the bowling at?
Bowling is also at Cherry Hill Lane. Bowling is at 5 Star Lanes in Sterling Heights, and I'm also working on getting groups going for lessons at Cherry Hill Lanes North in Clarkston. I've got a relationship there, and just trying to get some groups going there as I'm expanding the program.
Nice. That's good to hear.
Thanks.
Andrew, I wanted to mention this. You also have mentioned that you do life coaching as well. Huh?
Yep.
Where would you say your focuses on life coaching are?
So life coaching, I work with adults on the spectrum in just whatever areas they want to improve in executive functioning, self-advocacy, self-determination, just really designing the life you want from the perspective of someone who's also autistic and just knows the struggles and challenges that come with being autistic, and also the positive aspects of being someone on the spectrum. I'm also doing a group life coaching program that's going to be virtual online on Zoom. It starts the first Monday in March, it'll be in the evening and only taking in 10 participants, and looking forward to that.
That's great.
That's really amazing stuff.
Thanks.
And one question I really wanted to ask you, shifting gears a little bit.
Yeah.
Growing up, what were some of the things in terms of like being on the autism spectrum, would you say you really like struggled with, or challenges that you faced?
So when I was younger, like, you know, when I was first diagnosed at 9, early on it was the social challenges, just really understanding how I communicate differently, and how people who are not autistic that were in classes or in school or in the community with me, just learning to understand and navigate those differences and find my niche as a member of society. As I got older, to quote George Carlin, as I got older, it became more about executive functioning, just learning how to, everything I want to do out of life, just how to go about and do the things I want, and do the things also administratively that I have to do to get the most of what I want out of life.
Very amazing stuff. Tyler, you got another question for?
Yes. Now, what got you to starting this this business in the first place?
So when I started Autastic Athletics in 2016, actually I started Autastic Athletics in 2016 as a hobby business, giving tennis lessons sort of as a hobby job. And then I fully incorporated Autastic Athletics as an LLC in 2020, but it really dates back to 2014 when I was engaged and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do long term for you know, what life I want to build for myself. I was engaged to my wife Ashley at the time. We're now married, going on 9 years, and I was taking a lesson from my tennis coach, focusing on myself as a tennis player, and my coach and I were talking about just, you know, life, and how when he was first becoming a parent, he wanted his kids to know that being an athlete is an option. If you want to be an athlete, you can be an athlete, and that's, you know, on general terms. But I thought, wow, that would be a great message for me to be able to send to other autistic people. If you want to be an athlete, whether you have motor planning challenges, sensory issues, whatever challenges you have as an autistic person, I can overcome these barriers, and so can you. And that's why I dedicated myself to being as good of a tennis player and as good of a bowler as I can become, and then also learning the skills of coaching as well, so that I could pass on what I learned as a player.
Nice. Very important stuff there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
First of all, I just wanted to say I'm happy to hear about your marriage going on 9 years, and congratulations.
Thanks.
I'm glad to see you and your family are doing well.
Thank you.
A question I have in mind is, what, in terms of running the Autistic Athletics, what are some of the challenges that you face every day, and what are some of the joys that you get out of what you do?
Yeah, the joys I get out of what I do is just the excitement, the joy, and passion my students gain from especially when they have like an aha moment where they understand, oh, I know how to do this now. I can do this now. This is awesome. You know, just the progress my students and my clients and athletes make is definitely the big joy I get out of Autastic Athletics. The challenges I say I would face now as a business is just getting the word out more. So there's more knowledge of Autastic Athletics and what we're doing, and then also just the executive functioning aspect of not just giving the lessons, but also spending the time into marketing, into advertising, so I can coach more students.
Nice.
Very nice. And that, which reminds me, so you mentioned something like aha moments that people get. Was there a moment when you started running this business where you had an aha moment where you realized I can do this?
Yeah, quite recently. It was actually one of my life coaching clients was making a student film, and he actually made a student film, a documentary about myself and autistic athletics called Andrew the Big Lebowski, paying homage to a great film starring Jeff Bridges, and I didn't know, because it required acting for me to. I helped him produce it, acting as myself, and I'm like, just overcoming the anxiety of being on camera, and looking, wanting to look good, wanting to come off well. That was an aha moment for me when I was just able to do it. Also, another example of an aha moment was recently as a tennis player, I made my first semifinal in a local tournament in Monroe, and it was my first time, and getting to the semis in a local tournament, and that felt great.
I bet that did. That's awesome, man. Happy for you.
Thanks, man.
Happy to see you're
Absolutely,
finding
yeah.
success outside the business too.
Thanks.
Yeah.
What you thinking, Tyler?
So, what are your future plans for Autastic Athletics?
So immediate future is just expanding what I'm already doing to more locations throughout Metro Detroit, tennis, bowling, fitness lessons. The next step after that I really want to start doing is hiring, recruiting, training more coaches who are athletes on the spectrum that could teach other sports that I know tennis, bowling, and fitness. So there's autistic people in the community that would like to learn other sports. So if there's athletes on the spectrum that would want to learn how to coach, would be recruiting, hiring, training them to coach their sports.
Nice. Branching out is my idea.
Thanks. Yeah.
That kind of reminds me. So, is there any other sports you're looking to add in the near future, or not all that much?
It just depends on what coaches I am able to network with, that what athletes on the spectrum I come across. I would really love if there's like an autistic wrestler locally, just because my eldest son Lyndon wrestled in high school varsity for Hazel Park. He's not on the spectrum, but I would really like, just because my youngest son Asher is really interested in wrestling, and I've been approached by a few other people saying my kid would like to wrestle, but I can't find a program where they can learn how to wrestle. So I would love to find a way to start a wrestling program for those on the spectrum who would like to wrestle.
Amazing stuff. I hope you're able to find the coaching that you're looking for to help
Thanks.
progress that forward. Absolutely.
Thanks.
I'll hand it back to you, Tyler.
Well, yeah, I see like you got a lot going good, and if you were to if you were to try to convince people on the spectrum, this sounds rather interesting, why would they want to go with a person that's also on the spectrum as well? What would make it relatable to them?
It would be, I know the struggle of what it's like to experience the challenges that you face on a daily basis, I face on a daily basis, and I can help you overcome those barriers and be the best athlete that you want to be.
Absolutely. Now we do have a photo, some footage from when we went to see the bowling stuff. We saw them last Friday. We have it, and there we go.
Great picture.
Great picture.
Yes, and thank you for that. That just shows some of the people that you help with at bowling in Waterford.
It's really nice to meet all those people. And
Absolutely.
fun group there.
That it was.
Guys, one other question that just came to mind that I
Yeah.
just remembered. So, let's say someone on the autism spectrum decides to kind of follow what you're doing and start their own like athletics type
Yeah.
of job. What are some things that you believe that like someone on the spectrum or anyone who starts this kind of business should know about what you do, or what advice would you give those people?
The best advice I'd give is just like when becoming an athlete, becoming a coach, I'm not a final product. Nobody's a final product until they're no longer living. So just be willing to be comfortable and recognize that you're going to fail as an athlete, you're going to fail as a coach, and it's a learning experience. And just to keep trying, keep failing, and then start succeeding.
Absolutely.
Awesome stuff. And to follow up on that, what is there anything that like motivates you to go into work each and every day to help these people on the spectrum? Any like motivation or anything that just pumps you up? Or
The love of the game and the success of my students, and also when it comes to training to compete myself, just the love of the game and looking to score some victories in life.
amazing
Nice.
stuff. Proud of you for striving to be the best you can be.
Thank you.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it should be well appreciated.
Thanks.
Got any questions, Tom?
Yes. Also, how can people get in touch with your business if they want to join?
Yes, my website is www.autastic-athletics.com. There's information on me, the business, and various things. And then there's also my enrollment page, which links to how to book for the group programs.
All right, that's good. Do you also happen to have any socials out there, like social media pages?
Yeah, I have a Facebook page. It's the name of the company, Austastic Atheltcis. I think it's facebook.com/Austastic Atheltcis, but I could be mistaken. If you search Austastic Atheltcis on Facebook, it's there. And then I have a YouTube channel, same name, Austastic Atheltcis. And right now there's only one video. The last two strikes in my 300 game I shot on January 23rd of 2024.
Nice.
Thanks. And lost a train of thought. It has that, and I'm hoping to add some more content on there as well.
Nice.
Thanks.
It's very, very good stuff. One other question that's come to my mind just now. How, if in any way, has your family and the community that you work for, how have they helped you with this business, if any way?
I would say my family has helped by, having my back, supporting me, just being there as a family to help me in making this dream a reality. The community has been definitely helpful in spreading the word out and getting the word out of what we're doing. And I'd say my biggest referral source is word of mouth. So parents telling other parents about what we're doing, and then also kids telling other kids if they're kids, teens, adults. I have different age groups, so but just getting the word out has been very helpful because of the families that I work with.
Good stuff. I'm happy for you. I'm
Thanks.
glad to see that others are stepping in to help you get the
Thanks.
word out there and
Thanks.
promote your
Absolutely.
business.
Thank you.
Other questions you had in mind, Tom?
Yes, and you mentioned age groups. Like, what do you exactly? Do you have what are
Yeah.
the specifics? If you
Yeah,
can
so
tell, please?
my groups start, the youngest is 5 to 8 years old, and then I do 9 to 13-year-olds as an age group, and then 14 and older, including adults,
Right.
for all my programming. And then also the Waterford Lanes, which we've mentioned, is a social group where 14 and up just hang out and bowl as opposed to the lesson format.
Right. Right. That's one thing we need to keep in mind.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It's good you have it segmented accordingly and based on the age groups, and it really helps keep the things going in the right directions.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Anytime.
I was gonna ask it through the I'll try to word this question out as best as I can.
Yeah.
But do you have so in terms of the sports you do right now, and in terms of age groups, is there a certain sport that only a certain age group can do, or is it open?
Oh, so yes. So fitness, I try to start 9 to 13-year-olds. I just because of developmentally, it's 9 to 13 is a better place to start. Where most of the people I've been approached by that are interested in the fitness program, I usually start 9 years old and older.
Smart move there.
It's good to have that structure in place. And
For sure.
Keep things organized. In the
For
business.
sure.
Any other questions you got, Tyler?
Third shot.
Not that I can really think of, really.
All right. Then I've got one final question for you.
Yeah.
In terms of a legacy, what impact do you hope to have in helping those on the autism spectrum find their way in life?
So overall, my mission statement between Autastic Athletics, life coaching, and anything else I do in the autism community, it's just to make the world a better place for autistic people and to make autistic people better people for the world.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Very nice.
Thanks.
And any other final messages you have that you'd like to say?
If you're any autistic people who are watching this, or just anybody in general who is watching this that has a family member or someone they know with autism, two best pieces of advice I always give my clients is play to your passions and play to your strengths in that order. Your passions can always become your strengths. I'm not a natural athlete, but my passion was tennis and bowling, and I became good at that because I was passionate about it. So always play to your passions first.
Great
Well
advice.
said.
Well
Thanks.
spoken. Oh, Andrew, I just want to say it's been a pleasure talking to you about this, and
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been a pleasure for me as well.
I hope everything continues to go well for you.
Thanks.
I'm rooting for you, your family,
Thanks.
and your business.
Thank you.
Yeah, same here, man. It's been great talking with you. It's been great chatting with you. It's been wonderful.
Thanks, man.
You ready to talk some sports with us?
Yes.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
let's have some fun. You've worked hard.
Absolutely.
Now let's have some fun. All right, so today, as I mentioned, this is a different episode, so we're gonna talk sports, and Andrew, he's gonna join us today and talk some sports. So I'm gonna start off with a particularly weird subject. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I went to school at Oakland University, and when I was there, I went to basketball games there, and Greg Campy was the coach there. He's been the coach for over 40 years. Now, something weird happened. On Monday, or the day after Monday, on Tuesday, Greg Campy was suspended by the Horizon League for actions that the Horizon League deemed inappropriate, or he tried to track down a ref, I guess, and say something. We don't know what exactly was said. The Horizon League deemed this not appropriate and suspended him for that. Can we see a clip on that, please? We should have a clip somewhere. Here
There we go.
So I had to take this with my phone, so sorry about the bad quality. So it happened, I think it happened after here. I had to go Sherlock Holmes on this because there was nothing in the news about it. So here's a pass inbound. And right afterwards, so Campy, who's in the line, storms onto the court. So I tried to do as much as I can. So somewhere in the shot, there he is.
There you go.
So right there, he says something to the ref. Now what he says, I don't know for certain, but we do know is that because of that incident, or whatever he said to that ref, it got the attention of the Horizon League, and he has been suspended for 1 game. 1 game, and that'll be Oakland's next game against Green Bay, which is tomorrow. And then here's another weird thing. In addition to him being suspended, one of the referees in that game was also let go by the Horizon League for apparently a missed call at the end of the game. So this is what I know. So, gentlemen, I'll hand the floor to you guys. What do you guys have to say?
I am just stunned about this. It's just, how can you now have Oakland University basketball without Greg Campy? Yeah, just for 1 game, but that university's going to have to really think about what's going to happen when he's no longer coaching. Now, as for what happened, it's just odd, given that we don't know what he said and what led to the circumstances in the first place.
Go.
Yeah, I'd just be curious about what was said, obviously, and what the missed call was to lead to that decision, because it sounds like it's a tit-for-tat situation between Campy and the ref.
Yeah, I agree with what Andrew here is saying. Like I said, I've been trying to dig as much as I can into this call, and only just today, like 2 days after this whole thing happened, only now do we have news articles that are coming out. And they're not really saying much, and even the Horizon League has not really said much about what happened. So we don't know what the missed call was that Campy was upset about, seeking him to find that referee and say something in his ear. Of course, we also don't know what was exactly said, or maybe just the Horizon League didn't like how Campy just stormed onto the court after that referee. Maybe that's what they deemed inappropriate and suspended him for. But Oakland University, okay, they are going to have to, all right, big game against Green Bay. They're going to have to keep their heads down, focused. Campy's not going to be on the sidelines. That's all we know. And I know it's only for 1 game, but it's going to take a lot of focus. And Oakland, who's had a rough season since making the NCAA tournament last season. Of course, they lost a lot of great players to the transfer portal, including Trey Townsend, who's at Arizona. So that's part of the reason for their struggles this season. But it's bizarre to me. And you know what? Here's something I'd like to add to that. Okay, so apparently now refs can be held accountable. So now smaller leagues can hold referees accountable, and smaller leagues can hold coaches accountable and suspend them for actions. But we don't see leagues like the Big Ten do this, or the ACC. Like, what? Like, here's the thing. I'm all for supporting referees, okay? It's a hard job, all right? But we got to hold them accountable, because even they make mistakes, and they're human, all right? I've seen games where just either nothing gets called or everything gets called, or just a whole lot of missed calls in the end. Just those things of that nature. I want refs to succeed. I want to have good refs out there, and I want to see them get rewarded for working as hard as they can. And you're going to miss calls. That's going to happen. But and you know what? And it's the same problem with pro sports. So smaller leagues can hold referees accountable and coaches, but not leagues like the Big Ten? What are we doing here? All right, guys, I'll let you comment some more.
Yeah, that's what I want to know, too. I don't get why like Jake said, the small leagues, they can have the accountability. If you're going to have the accountability, make it for even the Big Ten, the SEC of the world, Don't just pick and choose which leagues can have accountability for their coaches and refs and which ones don't necessarily get that.
For sure. And, there's been controversy recently about the NFL officiating too with the no touching Mahomes rule.
Basically.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Andrew speaking
Basically.
truth. Andrew spitting facts over here. Yeah, that's getting out of control. You can't spit on Mahomes. You can't put even a finger on. Heck, you can't even breathe his direction without the referees just overreacting. Shoot, you could even have a friendly fire incident where, that game against Houston, the Kansas City game against Houston, there were two defenders for the Houston Texans that collided over top of Mahomes. Like, no, not a whole lot of contact was made with Mahomes as much as the two defenders running into each other, and the Houston got flagged for that. That is ridiculous. And you know what? In terms of like holding referees accountable, the NFL worries me more than any other league. They've got the biggest issues with officiating. And the Kansas City games proved just that. Guys got any other thoughts?
This is why football has a problem where it's known as ref ball. It's not fun at all. Ruins good games and especially touchdowns when you think you have your team scores. Oh, but no, they're going to call it holding, which I kind of get, but why? And yeah, the stuff about Mahomes is just ridiculous.
Yeah, big time, big time. What was I gonna say? Yeah, just officiating in the NFL. I mean, there's a reason why a lot of people are now like, NFL is rigged. It's just, just let the games play out.
Couldn't agree more. Absolutely. And like I said, the NFL's got the biggest problem. Now, to close out this subject, I just want to say this. Okay, if Campy said something that was inappropriate, like maybe something racist, or he sweared at the ref, said words that we can't repeat on live air, if he said something that is really, truly inappropriate to the ref, like he cursed him out or something, or insulted him, okay, then I understand the suspension. But to the Horizon League, I say this, okay? At least explain more in depth what it was that he did. And in terms of and same thing for the ref you let go. What mistake did he make? Clarity is important here, people. We need facts. We need concrete evidence. Mm-hmm. It's a problem not only in college athletics and the Horizon League, as I mentioned as of now, but the NFL and bigger leagues. It's a huge problem. We need to know the truth. Go for it, Tom.
I agree. So more accountability. It's not that hard. Yet these leagues are making it hard. I just don't know why. I'll never understand it.
Anything else you'd like to say, Andrew?
Nope.
And just one more thing I'm going to add. Better training is key.
That I can't argue with.
Let's better train these officials so we don't have these problems.
That I cannot argue with at all. And with baseball, I cannot wait for the days of home plate robot umpires.
Oh, God. Robot. Oh, gosh. AI's taking over.
Okay. Anyway,
we're so getting off subject. All right.
Anyway, let's just try to
lead the way, Tyler.
Okay. Anyway, obviously this weekend, the only thing the NFL had going for it is the Pro Bowl games. But next weekend in New Orleans is the Chiefs and the Eagles playing for the Super Bowl. Now, Jake and I, we're going to hold off on our predictions for the game.
Yes, we are.
And then turning on whether or not the Chiefs will three-peat or not, or if the Eagles will deny them. But let's just instead take some time to at least preview how these two teams got here and figure out any good matchups to worry about for the big game on next Sunday.
Absolutely. Would you like to start, Andrew?
Yes. I think it'll be an interesting week to see who has the advantage, the Eagles or the Chiefs.
Absolutely. Like Andrew said, long week coming up. So to start things off, I'm going to look back into how, as Tyler mentioned, how both of these teams got here. I mean, the Eagles, they were just too much for the Commanders. And you know what? I picked the Commanders to get past the Eagles. I thought they could do it. I mean, Jaden Daniels was playing it out of his mind this postseason, and he actually played pretty well against the Eagles. Problem is, when you turn the ball over 3 times, like if you don't value that rock, you're not going anywhere. The big difference in that game, and what allowed the Eagles to just pull away, or one of the big things that allowed them to run away with this game was they took care of the rock. They took care of the football, unlike Washington. That was a huge difference. And Saquon Barkley, that dude is unreal. He is everyone talks about, running backs becoming more of like just kind of an asset that's nice to have, but not necessarily someone you want to give big money to. Saquon Barkley would like to have a word with all of us on that because he's redefining running backs, and I think he's probably right now best running back in the NFL right now, in my opinion. And he's a big reason why the Eagles are where they're at. And great team, all right, stacked team, stacked on the offensive line, defense, running game. Got A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. Okay, some people have questions about just how good he really is. I mean, he is on a good team, but he's a good quarterback. I think he's a guy that's holding his own in Philadelphia. On the Kansas City side of things, the 3 of us guys talked about it earlier. Oh gosh, ref ball again. But the refs aren't the reason why they beat the Bills. Okay, they made it happen. They made the plays when it mattered. That's the Chiefs. I mean, that's Patrick Mahomes. He's got that swagger, and that's just been too much so far for the rest of the NFL. And the one thing I'm gonna remember from this game is the Bills. That close. And you know what? We shouldn't blame Dalton Kincaid for that game. Okay, a lot of people are already blaming Dalton Kincaid for that loss. No, we shouldn't. The fact that he almost got that ball going to the ground, that was ridiculous. That was a ridiculously insane effort to even come that close to catching the ball. I mean, it wasn't the best thrown ball, but Josh Allen was under pressure in that moment. And the Chiefs, they're in the Super Bowl because they were, it's not just because of the offense, all right? Not just because of Patrick Mahomes. That defense for Kansas City, led by Steve Spagnuolo, unreal. They can step it up when they need to. And George Karlaftis having himself a postseason for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep, that's important. And personally, can I just say as a Lion fan, I wish the Commanders had a bad game against the Lions. Where was that for the divisional game? That's what I want to know.
Crazy.
Oh, well. That's all I can say, really. Just one can only hope of what could have been, but oh well.
Any thoughts you'd like to add, Andrew?
Yeah, it's just been a wild ride watching just how things played out in the playoffs this season for all the teams involved.
Yep. And we've enjoyed Detroit's time, and it's been fun seeing the city rally around them still even more. And
it's been impressive with all the injuries the Lions were plagued with, especially on defense. Defense wins championships. It's just hard when so much of your defense is injured during the season.
Absolutely. Hopefully we don't have as many going forward, but I still like the chances of being serious contenders for a little bit longer.
I think so too.
Yeah, I don't think the Lions are, and this coming from a Bears fan, the Lions aren't done yet. All right,
no.
They still got plenty of pieces in place. They might lose some guys in free agency, and of course, coaching changes. They still got Dan Campbell, who I think is a fantastic coach, and I think he's going to find some great pieces to fill out the offensive and defensive coordinator. I think he has an idea already of what he wants. So the Lions aren't done yet. This is, I think, just a major hiccup, sadly. And man, I thought this was the year that they were going to the Super Bowl for sure. I really thought so. That number 1 seed, they were and I know they had a lot of injuries, but even with the injuries, the defense was playing out of their minds. Like, they were fighting hard. Just unfortunately, defensive injuries really caught up at the worst possible time. And Jaden Daniels, he's a stud. He's going to be a great quarterback in the NFL in the future. So I will also, now, shifting back to the Eagles and the Chiefs. So it's a rematch. All right, we all wanted the Lions and the Bills. At least America did.
Yeah.
Instead, we get the Eagles and the Chiefs again. Well, the fact that we get the Chiefs again. Here we are. Now, I respect Patrick Mahomes, okay? And I like George Karlaftis. I mentioned that. It's just so many times we get the Chiefs. And I'm not, and for the record, you two, I am not into that Taylor Swift mania that everybody just constantly brings up. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm done with it too. But I think this will be a really, really good Super Bowl matchup, though. Two of the best teams, or two of the most stacked teams, going up against each other. It's going to, defense, I think, is going to play a very big part in this Super Bowl. Whose defense is going to step up? And quarterback play is going to be key, and then running game. The Eagles have the edge, I think, in the running game. I will say that. Not making any predictions, just telling you kind of who has the edge. I think the Eagles have the edge in the running attack. And, I think their offensive line might be a little better, but, the Chiefs, they got Patrick Mahomes. They got Travis Kelce at tight end. And the defenses, I think, are evenly matched. That's just what I think so far. I'll let you guys speak.
Yeah, everything is very much equals there. How the Chiefs will be able to stop Barkley is going to be interesting. And, of course, like by extension, how do you stop Mahomes and Kelce if you're the Eagles' defense? That's going to be something to really consider as we get into the Super Bowl week.
For sure. I think it'll be determined, they are pretty evenly matched in terms of defensive capabilities. I think it'll be determined by whichever defense plays better.
Absolutely.
Yep, that's kind of what I'm feeling too. This could be a low-scoring defensive slugfest too. No, it just all comes down, and I think it's going to be one of those Super Bowls that could come down to which quarterback's going to have the ball last and who's going to make those critical plays, and who's going to value that rock. Always important. So we didn't want this matchup, but it's still an intriguing one at least. And these are two teams that, hey, they deserve to be here because they've earned their right to play for the Vince Lombardi Trophy.
Absolutely.
So
we cannot deny that.
Mm-hmm. So once again, it's you know what else? It's not just the Eagles and the Chiefs. It's the Andy Reid Bowl, too, the second Andy Reid Super Bowl, or the Andy Reid Bowl version take two, because he did coach the Eagles, and now he's coaching the Chiefs. Can he get another one against his former team? Or will Nick Sirianni and the Eagles have the last laugh? We'll find out in 2 weeks.
Yep. We got plenty of time to get ready for that one.
Yep.
It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, people are saying they're not going to watch it. No, don't worry about those people. I'll still watch the game because I'm curious. Like I said, I'm curious to see how it all turns out. So, should be a lot of fun to watch.
And look, I got families in New Jersey that are supporting the Eagles, so there's that going for me. Now, if it were the Lions supporting, obviously I would be doing it for that one. But yeah, I'm not one of those people that are saying, I'm not watching or I'm rooting for the media. Those types of folks. I'm not into that. I'm just going to sit, enjoy this game, and hopefully some decent commercials. So, yeah, come on, guys. Can we just still enjoy this game for once?
Hope it's a good one. Should be.
I agree.
I'm hoping for a good game too. Hopefully, a fair contest. Hopefully, clean in term. Okay, I don't like to talk about officiating, but I'm hoping for clean officiating, fair officiating. Let the players decide it. All right, whoever wins wins. I'll be rooting for. All right, you guys are probably gonna give me a dirty look for it, and that's okay. But I'm rooting for the Chiefs because I'm a big George Karlaftis fan. And being a Purdue guy, and he was a guy who played football at Purdue, I'm rooting for him to get his third straight Super Bowl ring. But we'll see if it happens, Yep. He'll play a big part in this game, I think, but so much to think about. And gotta figure out what kind of snacks I'm gonna want for the Super Bowl. That's the biggest thing I'm thinking about. What kind of queso do I want?
Yeah, we got plenty of time to think about that. Grocery store's definitely gonna be the winner.
Big time.
Andrew, is there anything sports news related that you'd like to add, or you think we should cover?
I can't think of anything.
All right. Anything else you'd like to say, Tyler?
Well, not that I can really think of. I mean, LV Hot Stove is going along decently. I haven't heard much about Alex Bregman with the Tigers. Tiger rumors. Or he could go to Houston. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess the only thing I'm thinking about sports-wise this upcoming weekend is a big basketball game between Purdue and Indiana. One of college, and in my opinion, college basketball's best rivalry. First of 2 matchups between these two at Mackey Arena or West Lafayette. Yeah, should be a good matchup. Indiana, they're trying to get a quad 1 win. Purdue is looking to build on that tournament resume. They're rising up in the rankings. Now they're hoping to add another big-time win against their longtime rivals in the Indiana Hoosiers and hoping to continue to build momentum going into March Madness, which is less than 2 months away, guys.
Yeah, it's just crazy that the season goes by very fast. I mean, you got all of February, and then when you're in March, next thing you know, conference tournament play, and then the big one. It just goes by quickly.
Yes, it does. That reminds me, I'm curious, Andrew, do you have a favorite team in March Madness? Are you a Michigan
Michigan guy.
All right.
They're doing pretty well under Dusty May. They're
Yeah,
building
they
a good
are.
resume.
Yep.
Didn't do too exactly well against Purdue, but
That's true.
every team's gonna not many teams are gonna have the opportunity to go perfect.
Absolutely. And hey, same with Purdue. They're not going to be perfect. One day they're going to, this Purdue team, one day they look like Final Four contenders. The next they just look like another FDU incoming. I mean, we've been there before, but I mean, college basketball this season's been unpredictable. So and that's what I really like about the sport.
For sure.
Anything else you two would like to add, Andrew?
Nope.
Not for me. I don't think of.
All right. I think I've said everything that I was hoping to say. Sports fans, I hope you've enjoyed this special episode of, well, it's not a Friday roundtable, rather Wednesday interview. So before we sign off, huge thanks for Andrew Ackner for coming on today and sharing the insights onto autistic athletics. Great to have you on board, Andrew. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
And remember, fans, hey, if you have a person on the spectrum who's looking to get into sports and that stuff, contact Andrew. He can help. He's got people there. And here's the logo, Autistic Athletics. Overcome the barriers. So, like I said, and he mentioned the pages. Follow Andrew on Facebook, whatever social media pages he has.
Yep.
Anything else you'd like?
Facebook, YouTube, and those are pretty much the ones I market on. So Facebook, YouTube, and the website www.autastic-athletics.com.
Remember, Autastic Athletics. Just want to make sure I say that right. All right. With that being said, once more, huge thanks to Andrew and sports fans. I hope you've enjoyed this special video. With that said, we are going to sign off. Hope you guys all have a great week. And this is Jake Waxman.
And had a Laviolette.
Wishing you all a good week. Bye now.